Hi, welcome to Xilinive. In this video, I am going to discuss about a case study relating to the Salesforce application development. As you all know, understanding a case or understanding the project is essentially important for any person who is working for application development. This is not something focused towards BA. Of course, even technical people should also have a knowledge over how we have to understand the business case, right? So what exactly it was, right? So we want to know about all this. Of course, this video is also majorly useful for the people who are working as a business analyst and who wants to become a business analyst, especially in the field of Salesforce, because most of the people uh, will apply a job opportunities in context to the business analyst in Salesforce, but some people may not have knowledge over the projects 100%, right? So they may have some exposure. So that to have some exposure over the projects, how we have to explain the projects, right? So how we have to detail the existing ones, right? So these are all something any job seeker or a person who is working for IT, especially as the role of a business analyst, is essentially important. On this context, I have taken a case study. Of course, you can consider it as a project, a small project even. So in context to the Salesforce, the application is all about developing an application for Salesforce, especially for website integration. This is what generally the context I have taken. So when you are trying to understand the case study, we have to understand it few different ways. First of all, we have to explain the introduction part, the overall introduction about an high-level note, an overall introduction about what exactly the project is all about, right? So on a high level note that we have to explain. Of course, this is something useful even for a BA to explain when they're working on any project, right? So if you want to explain to your technical team or something like, even this is also useful for them. So while we are delivering this to the team members, we have to explain the initially to start with, we need to provide some introduction on a high level note in context to the project, what is that we are developing. Followed by this, we need to mention the challenge, because we want to provide a solution doesn't mean there must be some challenge behind it. If there is no challenge or a problem, developing solution doesn't have any value at all. So challenge has to be explained. So first of all, introduction, followed by the kind of challenge which customer or a client is facing. Next, we need to explain what kind of solution are we going to develop. Followed by this solution, what will be the result are we going to execute end of the day, and for this what kind of technologies and tools are rightly important, right? So this is how generally when we are explaining any case study, this is how we need to understand. Now if you come up with some introduction here, so this is a project we are developing for a customer who is based out of US, like because this customer have different clients. Somewhere these clients were mid-market clients and as well as enterprise level clients and all that. So this customer means the customer, the client, whoever I'm talking about. So this customer will help their client people to manage their sales teams to advance the sale process, because any organization, if they want to initiate the sales process or if they wants to streamline their sales process and all that, at the same time, whatever the kind of marketing material or the kind of templates whichever is required, right? So all these things will be helpful by this customer. So for example, customer called X, right? Let me put it this way. Customer called X is one of our customer. This person, nature of business is to provide sales team, provide sales teams of different organizations by enhancing the sales process, formalizing their marketing material, right? So this is what their nature of business is all about. In this process, generally customer will upload all the client information or client related whatever the material and all everything, case studies or the kind of success stories and all everything to the website of the particular customer of him. At the same time, whatever the possible designs or pre-design, whatever the possible adjustments to be made to the existing website, because size of the websites as well as the dynamic quality of the website may vary. Depends on that, adjustments and all everything can be done. So for that adjustment, there must be some pre-designed format is available, so that you don't require to design or a format right from the scratch. So there are some pre-designed formats which are available already. So by taking some pre-designed format, a customer can put some information so that they can reduce the cost, so that they don't require to uh, develop this from the scratch, right? So this was what generally the introduction was. So again, I'm repeating this point. There will be a customer called X. This X customer nature of business is to provide some services to the sales teams of different organizations to enhance their sales process, formalizing their marketing material by doing some enhancements and all everything to the website. So in this context, Braid is creating some pre-designed formats and all everything is what generally this company, this customer called X will do. Now, in this process, they are facing some challenge, right? So what is the challenge? Should understand if you are a solution provider, be it could be, right? So of course, as I'm focusing on onto the role of a business analyst, but not only BA, of course, people who are in the context of IT, people should also know, right? So because it's not only about the technology, we should know about the business scenarios. On that context, the challenge we need to understand is challenge is that majorly to whom are we going to develop? The organization called Culiant. Let's say that vendor or a software company called Culiant is an organization itself. They are developing a Salesforce customer application. Especially, this is majorly used to integrate that sales cloud integration and all everything with the websites. So that the major advantage for them is to formalize the marketing content and as well as having an access and all everything to the Salesforce. Because Salesforce is a kind of application, it's a CRM application. This CRM application have different things. Either it could be sales CRM, it could be marketing, it could be retail, it could be e-commerce, right? So it could be of different CRMs we have. So whatever the Salesforce CRM custom application, which a company called Culiant is developing, it is a customer application, a custom application of Salesforce developing, majorly focusing on sales cloud integration with the existing website of it. For example, if there is a website called Y, right? So let's say they were doing some travel portal kind of stuff, for example, right? So that is what generally the website. So this sales cloud integration can be done with the website, so that whatever the formalizing of marketing content and all everything can be accessed into the Salesforce. That is what generally Culiant is planning to develop. But this app should make the customers feel successful in reference to the right implementation of the Salesforce. At the same time, they wanted to place an application in App Exchange so that it will be making available for a customer to identify the current clients and as well as expanding their client base, especially in the field where they were located. So this is where majorly the challenge as well as the high level understanding which Culiant has understood based on the challenge here. So if you understand the challenge here is a challenge, indirectly it was proposed. Please do remember, whenever we are trying to understand the requirements, trying to understand the business scenarios, don't expect that customer will give us all the information, right? So even though some information will be given by the customer, that information might be something hidden, right, underlined, right? So unless until if you're not able to understand and trying to understand the requirements in detail, so that we don't have the clarity over this. So here, if you see the challenge indirectly it was specified, customer also want to place the app in App Exchange to make it available for the customers, current clients, and enlarge the client base with other mid-market and as well as enterprise level of sales teams, etc., right? So this is what it is. So one of the point which customers want, customer called X want is that this kind of application, whatever the Salesforce application we are developing, should have a choice to place it in the app exchange so that people can use it, right? Their customers can use it. This is what generally the challenge is. Now, for this, what solution culiant is providing is what here we are explaining. So for that, culiant team, whatever the development team I say, they are creating a single page web application, majorly in Salesforce. But make sure this will be a lightning component framework, which will be addressing the customer needs so that it will also ensure access to their websites right from the Salesforce solution to his clients. This is what generally the high level solution which Julian people have identified based on the problem, what they have seen. Right. So what Culiant is doing, Culiant is creating Culiant team, technical team, I can say. Culiant technical team is creating a single page web application. But the kind of framework what they are using is a called Lightning Component Framework. So that this will be useful and address the customer needs so that they can ensure to have an access to their websites and all everything from Salesforce solution of the clients. Now, when we talk about the Salesforce application developing by the Culiant, this was designed for both Salesforce Classic and Lightning Experience UIs because we have two different things. One is Salesforce Classic and Salesforce Lightning. There are two different things. So this is being used for both the things. At the same time, the kind of integration of Salesforce Sales Cloud to the customer websites will be performed with REST API callouts. Because API is nothing but application programming interface. We need to understand the technicality. For example, you want to access some information from any of the website. For example, you want to book a ticket online, right? So for example, you want to book a flight ticket online to travel destination from one to another place. What we have to do now, you will be going to a travel portal where it is available. So that you can set out the dates followed by the destination location and you will be booked ticket. Now, let's say whatever the airlines you are booking, is that you are going to the company airlines and you are booking the tickets? No, right? So you are accessing, you are booking this ticket from any of the travel portal domains which are available, private travel portals and all. So how they have access to which flights are available, right? What is the seating capacity? Which seats are free? Which seats are not occupied so far? How far this online ticketing websites will get the information? Because there will be some API which is called application programming interface. Whenever we're writing API, of course there are different APIs like REST API, SOAP, right? Simple Object Access Protocol, all that. Using this REST APIs and all everything, they will access the information to their website so that whoever wants to book any kind of reservation, they can book the reservation there, right? So you can see, you can say this like this, there are a lot of applications, a lot of examples you can see. Because for any application, when you are whatever the information you say, they are accessing this from the other websites, other information. So for that, what is required? Usually they'll preparing some API, right? So application programming interface is what they are doing. So this is what generally it's happening here, right? So integration of Salesforce Sales Cloud application where they can access the customer website, which was performed. At the same time, it is being called. So this information is being called using a technical thing, right? So this is what we call it as APIs. They're using REST APIs to call out all this. That is what it is saying. That is what exactly the integration they are doing it. So if someone is asking you how you are going to integrate, what technology is being used by you, if someone is asking you, right? So in anywhere, usually here in this context of the case study or the application, you need to say whatever the integration they were doing, this integration they were using REST API. That's what the answer should be. At the same time, the application enabled access to the functionalities of the customer website. At the same time, it will be an automated design of the kind of different case studies, success stories of its clients, so that it will be useful for them to update all the records, whatever is required for the clients and all that stuff. So this is what generally on a high level note, which Culiant team has identified a solution against to the business problem, what they have understood. Now, what is the result, right? So what result are we going to find out of this? This is the next question which most of the people have. The result is that Culiant is giving a result out of the solution is that they have developed a tailor-made single-page web application for Salesforce Sales Cloud integration with his websites. So that the advantage here is the result is that application can help the customers, clients to enhance and performance of the sales team engaged in the complex sales, providing them in relevant case studies and success stories of the unified format. So this is whatever the highlighted point I was mentioned here, this is what generally the result was. What is the result based on the solution what Qlent people have given? The result is that application will help you, right? So result is this for customer context, right? What result they can see here is application can help the customers, clients to enhance the performance of the sales teams engaged in complex sales, providing to them with relevant case studies and success stories of the unified format. This is what generally the result which customers will get benefit based on the solution which was given here. Along with this, this application is also appeared in app exchanges as we have already mentioned here, right? So because it has to be placed in the app exchange is what we have discussed in the previous interaction when we had explanation. So the application is will also be appeared in the app exchange so that customer wants to have a benefit where they can get a revenue from the application downloads and all. This is an additional revenue which they get because if there is a download, of course, some will be paid downloads and some will be free downloads. Assume that if it's a paid download, so that if it is appeared in the app exchange, automatically whoever wants that customer can download and they can use it. So for the one, what is that they are using? So they can pay for that. So it's in that way. In that way, also, a company will get the revenue because of the application being downloaded from anywhere, anyone who is wanted, who wants that. Now, which technologies are we using? Salesforce technologies we are using. One is Salesforce Sales Cloud is we are using it here. At the same time, Lightning Component Framework, which we have discussed earlier. This is what we are using because these are all the suitable things. These technologies and tools are suitabilities. Next, REST API they are using for API integration. At the same time, O 2.0 and as far as the coding itself is concerned, because in Salesforce there is a coding called Apex coding, right? Usually we do Apex coding because in Salesforce application, we have Apex coding here. So these are the technologies and tools which majorly using for the project when they are developing, right? So this is what generally the overall understanding about the business case and how you need to understand it and how you want to explain it. Either you are going for an interview, right, or you are explaining this to your technical teams, or you want to understand for yourself for a better understanding, right? Or else if you are explaining this to some of your business teams or any other for any other thing, how you need to understand the case and how you have to explain this is important. So this is all about this case study and this sample case study is all about. Of course, this is the one I think it is useful even for not only for business analyst teams, but of course, whoever wants to have a knowledge over how to understand the project, how to explain. I think this will be useful even for development team also. For example, if I'm working as a Salesforce developer, let's say, for example, right? So when I go for an interview, people will ask me, right? So can you share your experience and what exactly your project was? Right. So developer may have a technical knowledge, but how you have to explain this is very important. So when you want to explain some case or the project, what you have already dealt with or what you have already done, that process is required. So how you need to establish and how you have to explain how, first of all, you need to provide an introduction on a high level note. You need to explain the kind of challenge, what you guys have identified. At the same time, what solution you have given for because of solution, what was the result? For this, which technology you have used, why have you used the technology. So this sort of knowledge is required even for a developer position or for a BA, whoever it is. How this is to explain is very important. For this, of course, I have made a video on that grounds. So this is how generally the case study explanation one have to understand, one have to know it. I hope this video will be helpful to you in your professional career to enhance your professional career, all that. And in coming days, I'll be, of course, I have made some case study explanations and all everything in my previous videos. You can see it somewhere, something relating to payments and healthcare. I have created. Uh, I have recorded some videos earlier, and this was the Salesforce one, which I have explained, right, so as a case study. In future, I'll try to uh, record more case studies and all everything for the benefit of the people who wants to have a knowledge over different domains, perspectives, all that. If you have any queries, or if you have any requirements, please reach out to the contact details, which will be posted in below to this video. Thank you.